it's not about monitoring every time. It's about trying to, have a balance in their lifestyle after being.
Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Nishita Bajaj and you are watching episode 3, season 2 of our series on managing diabetes. In episode 1 and 2, we had explored how to manage diabetes with the right diet, with the right fitness. But today, we're also going to look at the deeper connection between emotional wellness and diabetes management with our very own senior psychologist, Arpita Mirchandani. Arpita comes with over 18 years of experience and I'm super excited to be with her today. Hi Arpita.
Hi Nishita, thank you for having me here.
It's lovely to have you here. Arpita, before we start, I just want to say that I have seen a lot of people who are living with diabetes. They're usually depressed, withdrawn from social connections, and I see the same feelings or emotions in the caregivers also.
Yes, absolutely right, Nishita. I have seen this in my practice too. It's not only the person who has been diagnosed with diabetes go through a lot of change physically and emotionally, and even the lifestyle changes.
Correct.
Even the caregivers and the family members who are there around them go through a lot of changes. There has been a survey done by IDF where they say 77% of people who are being diagnosed with diabetes go through a lot of mental challenges.
Right, that's a huge number, a huge population of the people living with diabetes to go through these emotional wellness, emotional health changes, right? So if the viewers who are watching us today, if any of you are living with diabetes or have family members living with diabetes, then I think you should all stay on with us because Arpita and I are going to dig deeper into these challenges. So Arpita, let's begin. People say that diabetes changes the way they see themselves, right? So how does this condition impact self-perception?
So Nishita, in my practice, what I have noticed is that anybody who has been diagnosed with any kind of illness, they find it difficult to get over the understanding that something has been diagnosed in them. And they feel they have lost control over their body.
Right.
It's very obvious. We all feel that.
Right.
Yeah? And they have to make so much of changes, like taking medication, monitoring blood sugars. And again, if they have to even make a lot of diet changes and get into fitness, it is a lot for them.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but do they experience guilt as well?
Oh, absolutely, yes. It does impact on their emotions a lot. This makes me recollect, I had a patient who loved having sweets, and every time she indulged in some dessert, she would feel extremely guilty about it. And according to me, it's not about monitoring every time. It's about trying to, have a balance in their lifestyle after being diagnosed.
Right. What are some of the biggest emotional stresses that people face when managing diabetes?
To name, there are quite a lot.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So it starts with the daily routine.
Yeah.
And during daily routine, the constant checks, what they have to do, they're monitoring their blood sugar levels, their diet, their fitness, their medication. All this is relentless. And this leads to fear. They develop a kind of fear which is like, what will happen to me while I'm sleeping? What will happen if I develop some complications? And this again impacts their self-confidence, self-efficacy, self-worth.
Right.
All this goes on and on, impacting their emotional and
up.
mental well-being. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's so exhausting just to listen to this list, right? So I can't imagine that people who are living with diabetes, how physically and mentally they will be exhausted.
Yeah, that's a lot actually. And we should not forget about the financial stress what they go through. All the doctor visits, the kind of diet special diet they have to indulge in, and then again fitness and medication. All this is constant for them.
Keeps
Yes.
adding to the financial burden.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So when there is worry, there is naturally stress and anxiety. And there's a lot to talk about stress and blood sugar levels. So what's happening in our body when we are stressed?
So our body has hormones,
Right.
yeah? Cortisol and adrenaline are fight or flight hormones.
The
which is-
stress hormones.
Yes, absolutely. So when you are giving a message to your body that you need more energy, these are the hormones which are released.
Correct.
And that way your blood sugar level increases when you're stressed.
Does that mean then that people living with diabetes should avoid stress at all costs?
I wish life was that simple.
I
you know.
know.
Yeah, but still, life has a lot of stress,
Right.
and it's all about how we are managing it. So here, why shouldn't I teach you a small technique how to use it in your daily life?
Okay.
Why don't you all also try this? It will be very helpful for you.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's sit straight.
Okay.
If your palms facing downwards on your lap,
Okay.
close your eyes and just feel your body. How do you feel?
I'm feeling very tight, tensed right now.
Okay. Now close your eyes again. Bring your focus between your eyebrows and bring your focus now to your breath. Take 3 deep breaths. Slowly open your eyes. Now feel how you're feeling.
I feel relaxed.
So it's all about bringing your attention and being in the present and helping yourself to manage your stress.
Right. I think this can help a lot of people before any meetings or, for example, before we entered this shoot, I could have practiced deep breathing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Now that I'm feeling so good, I'm sure you all are also feeling the same. But I want to get more out of Arpita. So Arpita, for diabetes related stress, are there any specific effective coping strategies?
Yes, we can categorize it into 2. One would be the ones who have been recently been diagnosed with diabetes.
Okay.
For them, I would suggest short walks, light yoga, and deep breathing. Just which
What we just did.
yes,
Okay.
right, and that will help them cope with the stress.
Initial
stress. Yes.
Okay.
And the second category would be who have been with diabetes for a long term.
Right.
So while coping with this kind of
Long-standing diabetes.
Yes, absolutely. So what happens is they have a lot of emotional challenges too, and they're coping with their emotions constantly.
And they might be having the complications of diabetes also if they're long-standing
Yes.
diabetes.
Because it could lead to another illness at
Right,
times.
right.
So for them, I would suggest to take up therapy sessions, the counseling therapy, in which they can regulate their emotions, understand themselves better, be kind to themselves, and and have a better lifestyle even with this kind of a illness.
Right. So we've spoken a lot about stress, but what about diabetes distress? Now, diabetes distress is this new term that I came across while researching for today's podcast. Tell me what it is and how is it different from depression?
To begin with, let's understand the term distress.
Yeah.
So what does that term distress mean? It is something which is causing stress for you, anxiety, sorrow, pain. And when you link it to diabetes, how diabetes is causing stress. That could be, constant monitoring, again, changes in lifestyle, managing your complete physical activities on daily basis, and feeling burned out because of that. Because you have to put a lot of conscious effort in taking care of your physical well-being.
Right.
So this causes distress, so it becomes diabetes distress. And depression, on the other hand, is a completely different condition.
Okay.
Where a person feels sadness, low of interest, no motivation. There is a lot of procrastination.
Right.
So a person with depression, it can't function properly on a daily basis.
Right.
But here with distress in diabetes, it is happening because of the burnout for managing diabetes. Yeah.
So Arpita, we have been talking a lot about how the individual can manage their emotional health better, all right, the one who has diabetes. But what about their primary caregivers? What about the family members? How do they take care of the patient in terms of better emotional health, and what can they do for themselves to stay sane throughout the journey?
Yeah, that's a very, very important and wonderful question, Nishita. In the process of, taking care of a patient, we tend to forget that we are the caregivers and we are also important to be cared for. I would suggest in this scenario that you keep yourself well educated about the condition the patient has. You can read through about diabetes. There is a lot of information on net. There are books written on diabetes. So that helps you gain a lot of knowledge, and you will be well aware of what is happening with the patient with whom you are dealing with on day-to-day basis. Along with that, being aware of the condition will help you handle a situation.
You'll be more confident.
Yes, you'll be more confident, you'll be more relaxed, you will not panic, you will be able to handle the entire situation in a much calm manner.
Right. Which itself does half the job.
Yes,
right?
That will not impact on
your
patient.
Emotional health.
Yes, absolutely. Along with this, I would suggest take some time off for yourself. Self-care is very important. Develop some hobbies. That's your me time. Take care of yourself. Go for a nice massage. Drink some nice relaxing tea for yourself, and be connected, be grounded with yourself. That will be very helpful.
Right.
While you are a caregiver, and you can take care of yourself well too. Yes.
Right. That's right, Arpita. I think it's very important for the caregiver to take care of themselves. But like we spoke in the beginning, that individuals with diabetes usually cut off their social ties. Now, if they were to get back to interacting, to social gatherings, how do they go about it?
Talking can be very beneficial. Yeah, talking to people who are going through the same struggle can be incredibly powerful. I have met people who have gone from feeling alone to being motivated and inspired by getting support. So I would encourage that, like in West, there are diabetes support groups.
Right.
So I would encourage you all to form your own support group. It can be reaching out to friends with similar condition,
right,
or a family person whom you can reach out to. And when you have exchange of your feelings, your thoughts, you will be able to have a better understanding of what you're going through, and you'll feel that you're not alone.
And less emotional baggage.
Yes,
right? So
absolutely.
It does not have to be a formal or a set up support group, right? We can always start one of our own.
Yes.
So Arpita, now we have spoken a lot about individual coping strategies, we have spoken about support groups, but there's always this focus on physically managing your diabetes, right, through structured programs. What about emotional wellness programs? Do they help individuals, can they benefit them better?
Yes, absolutely. These programs are structured in such a way that it helps the patient cope with their stress. There is a good stress management guideline,
Right.
which helps them to cope with their daily stresses which they come across, to live mindfully. There are mindfulness practices which
Right.
are available, and self-care strategies
Right.
which can be very beneficial for them.
Right.
With this, I would like to share a success story. Recently, there was a woman who started practicing gratitude journaling. That
wow.
helped her a lot.
Right.
Yeah. So she went from I can't eat this food to, oh, I'm so grateful for this food that nourishes me, and
Right.
it really changed her entire outlook.
Wow.
So
Right.
it's that beneficial. So there are success stories like these.
Yeah,
which we come
that's
across.
wonderful. So it's more like your, half glass full and half glass empty theory. So you are focusing on the positives rather than the daily struggles of managing diabetes. I think I've had a great chat today with Arpita, and I hope everybody who's watching us are taking back some insights on how to manage their emotional health better while dealing with diabetes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for
Nishita.
joining us, Arpita. But you all stay tuned. We have another episode coming very soon, and this time we will be in conversation with our diabetes specialist. We'll see you soon.